why you would have noticed that in one of my slides, I coined the term Agile SDLC, because in fact SDLC still is very powerful in some of the parts of the development and product marketization. So once again, Kovair can actually implement more than one approach within a particular workspace. I have another question over here. So I have a different, someone said over here, I have a different estimation tool. Can I integrate? Absolutely. You would have noticed that because of the lack of time, we went through and just touched planning poker. We also then looked at some variations of planning poker in terms of estimation. But if you have your own estimation tool, you can integrate within Kovair. Now, typically, a third-party integration tool will take somewhere between 4 and 8 man-weeks to develop. But the more complicated, or when I say more complicated, I refer to tools that generally have less documentation, can take up to 12 man-weeks. But in any event, if there's a way of talking to that tool, Kovair will supply an XML exchange to that tool, and so we can integrate. So if you have your own estimation tool that you use, in fact, if you even have an estimation tool across geographies, we can integrate to that. So you don't have to have necessarily one estimation tool, you can have multiple.
So Richard, on that particular note, let me go ahead and show that the estimation that you can be done at a more complex level.
Wonderful.
So at this product backlog, you, apart from the effort estimation grid that we showed you, you can also have a more detailed level estimations by doing it on a functional point analysis. Here is the effort estimation grid that allows you to enter the data per user, and here are the different object story points that you can say that how the input data, what's the complexity, what are the number of function complex points, what is the estimate mechanisms that you are using. Also, you can provide some estimated value, and based on that, if you set the adjustment factor to something and you save this, then automatically here the effort adjusted would be calculated based on that. So this also gives you another way of doing some estimations on Kovair, and not only this, we can really implement any kind of mechanism that allows you to do it. Okay.
May I just add that you would have noticed in the selection of the estimation mechanism, you would have noticed that Shominol chose planning poker, but very quickly under that selection, you would have noticed a jelly bean type mechanism. There's also entropy measures, etc. So just to demonstrate that, in fact, we can link into any type of measurement.
Richard, I have a question. It's saying
yes.
They have the customer is saying he's having Jira for all task tracking purposes. Do you provide a business value analysis templates for implementation of Kovair in such scenarios? So to answer that, yes, we have currently implementing an adapter for Jira, which is right at the verge of completion. So what you can do is you can track your tasks at Jira, and you can import those tasks using Kovair Omnibus into Kovair, and then you can have all those tasks in your specified templates in Kovair, and you can manage those in such scenarios. So that can very well be done.
And as I said, hot off the press, the Jira integration has just been completed as well too. Sorry, Shominol, another question?
Yeah, so next question is, can we assign multiple resources for a task and have a different number of estimated hours assigned to each resource? No, in that case, you have to create 2 different tasks for 2 different users, because the task is the lowest unit on the whole, and if you are allocating a planned duration for those tasks to complete, then has to be in 2 different tasks altogether. It could be like it's generating from a process, or it could be manual tasks also that you can allot in Kovair for the different owners. Can we The next question is, can we consider that we can integrate this with the requirement management, test management, configuration management tools? Yes, very true. You can definitely do this with any of the management solutions that you are tracking outside the scope of the application Kovair, or you are tracking, let's say, requisite probe for requirements management, you are using HP Quality Center for test, and you are using ClearCase for configuration management or Subversion for configuration management. You can all integrate all those tools, and you can have the data exchange between Kovair as well as in these tools. So yes, can very well be done with our Agile solution. So
I just have one more question. Sorry, Shominal.
So yeah, Richard, you please go ahead with the question that you are leading.
Okay, so I have one more question over here. It's around pricing. Now, we have done quite a lot of investigation over the last years in terms of our competitors, and our price point is very attractive. Having said that, I would encourage you to make contact with us because we have two pricing models. We have perpetual license, and we also have a SaaS offering. So if you'd like to make contact through Kovair, please do so. In particular, I myself have had an Agile background of more than 8 years myself, and right down to a development level. If you would like to contact me and have a chat about how I am using Kovair across a multitude of projects for clients, I'd be more than happy to also chat to you about that. Please make contact through Kovair, but otherwise my private email, or my Kovair email rather, is rsatur, as in R-S-A-T-U-R, @kovair.com. And feel free to give me a call, and I'd be more than happy, including talking to the gentleman or the lady that gave the question around using multiple resources on a task. I'd be more than happy to demonstrate how Kovair aligns itself to something like that, in particular at a user story level. So please make contact, and I'd be happy to explain how you can use Kovair to manage such situations.
Thank you, Richard. Since we do not have any further questions, okay, great. Okay, I have another point. If a task is big of say 40 hours, it has to be broken as separate tasks, but will there be a subtask of one main parent task so that we know how much of the total hours are going to take for the main task?
So Shominal, do you mind if I answer that one, please?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So the answer is yes, you can. The idea, remember that when we first started this presentation, I indicated that everything is an entity. So the entities that we've shown you today, and in fact this also goes to a previous question in relation to breaking down a task or possibly even using multiple resources on a task. The way that we have constructed this demo to try and get it in such a short period of time is we've shown you epics, user stories, and backlog items or tasks. Now, the fact of the matter is that Kovair treats every data item as an entity. So if you refine that model slightly, you can in fact track any number of levels within that. So you would have noticed that we didn't show you themes because we didn't have enough time to do so. Equally, we could have, if you think of an agile type scrum meeting where, typically you'd be putting post-it notes all around the place, and then you'd be trying to get those post-it notes down to very clear and concise and manageable sprint type or deliveries, then typically you'd even refine your entities within Kovair down to that sort of level as well too. But within the space of the demo, we weren't able to show you that. But certainly you can refine the model down or up to track all of that information, given that Kovair works with entities.
Okay, Richard, thank you for your reply. Yes, due to the shortage of time, we could only show you some glimpses of Kovair regarding the features and functionalities that you can manage for maintaining an agile solution. If you want a further detailed level demo, you can contact sales@kovair.com. You can send your queries over there, or if you want a custom demo to be conducted at your request, so please contact sales@kovair.com, and we would be happy to address your call. So thank you from our end, and with this note we end this webinar. Good day, everybody, and have a nice weekend.
And thank you all for attending from India and Australia. Greatly appreciated. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.